Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play EU4! We're playing with the Mare Nostrum expansion, and we're playing as Lubeck. Now, it occurred to me, we could consider moving one of our merchants. Like, I'm wondering, here, if we removed our merchant, which is pulling trade this way, actually, Norway, Brandenburg, Bremen, we're not even in the list, there's more than 5. So I don't need a merchant here in Rhineland at all. And I should probably move it to Lubeck. See, I didn't realize that there's more than 5 people pulling trade here, because then there's no reason to have more. So right now our trade income is 4.47. So I'm going to collect trade instead of the Rhineland. We're going to collect trade. So 4.47. Yeah, it went up just a tiny little bit, a microscopic amount. And I think, is just as much being pulled in over here? I mean, any trade presence we still have over here is still contributing to trade being pulled forward. And we probably have a little bit, don't we? Where's my name? Lubeck. Yeah, we have a little bit because it's flowing downstream. And that means transferring. And it transfers to both nodes. Whether we have a merchant here or not, when we transfer trade, it goes to both. Ooh, some people just moved over here. And then, in addition to that, you have a steering power. For each person that's pulling trade towards a specific node via a merchant, you accumulate your total amount of steering power, and that determines, of all the trade being pulled forward, where does it go. So having a merchant here would also give me 2 extra trade power, but who cares about that? Yeah. I don't know, we did just lose some trade power, but I think that was mostly because of other people. Yeah, that's going to happen a lot. Looks like people are fighting over these trade nodes a little bit. I think we're going to get more value out of being here. Here we still need some of our power pulling trade this way because there's not more than 5, and then we do have a merchant here. Yeah, there's only 3 pulling trade. Well, I guess there's only 1 outgoing node, so we don't need a merchant here to pull trade in this direction because 100% of all forwarding goes in this direction. So having a merchant here, just the only thing it does is give an extra 2% or 2 trade power over here. Although for every merchant you have forwarding trade, you get 10% more trade power in your node. But your merchant, having a merchant collect over here, does mean 1 less merchant here, so you get a little bit less trade power, but you get a 10% boost your income. So in this case, it's probably better. We could transfer a merchant somewhere else. For example, if I sent the merchant to Krakow, assuming I had range, and I do, I could offer more trade power pulling towards Saxony. Or more trade steering. Yeah, I don't need it in the Baltic Sea. I think we'd probably be better moving it, actually. Keeping someone in the Rhineland. Oh, no. We don't need someone in the Rhineland because we already have too many people forwarding trade over here. So there's no point. Okay, Krakow. Transfer trade power. So instead of being in the Baltic Sea, you're going to transfer trade power there. It should automatically select that because that's the closest route towards my thing. And it's hard to tell exactly what kind of change comes up. Right away. We did go up a little bit because other people are transferring. They're moving their merchants. Some amount of trade power is changing because of reasons. It's really hard to pin down whether that's a strong move or not. And ultimately, it's a game of sort of pennies either way right now. So regardless of what I do with the merchants, it's not particularly strong. But I think having the merchant in my home node collecting right now is actually really good, and I should have done it earlier on. Okay, we are on the cusp of getting our first national idea. We're really going to have to decide what our first idea will be. And I'm tempted to just pick trade because you know we're going to have trade at some point, no matter what. No matter what, we will need trade ideas at some point. So it clearly won't be wrong if we take it now. It might be slightly optimal to take something else first, but I think it's going to be okay. Right now, military power, we are getting up in actual full military skill. There's a possibility we'll start to run into an ahead of time penalty with military. That's going to be a thing altogether with the Republic here until auto dies, and then we're stuck with like a 4-1-1 or a 1-4-1 or whatever we decide to pick. There's a risk that any one of these might become ahead of time. We don't really have any benefit from being ahead militaristically, other than, of course, we do get first crack at new units, which is good, don't get me wrong, but there are other bonuses to being ahead of time in administrative and diplomatic. You get extra production, you get extra trade power, it helps bring down corruption, yada, yada, yada. We also have a pretty good dump for diplomatic power. If we get ahead of time on diplomatic power, we'll probably use it to boost mercantilism. For administrative, well, we're very unlikely to get ahead of time on administrative. if we go to war because we can core some stuff or something of that nature. We don't need to bring down inflation or anything like that, but there might be other things we could do. And of course, we can always just improve the development of our country. So I think I'm going to go trade, because I know I'm going to want trade at some point. And even early on, we're going to get some benefit from this. A few more merchants to help your trade. The extra caravan power will be brilliant later on. We may not need that many merchants yet. I don't know. You know? I'm still playing on the first day. Probably people have supplied suggestions, but I haven't been able to read any comments yet because I'm all recording this on the first day. The first video has not gone live yet for me at this time. All right, still adding all that up. Brandenburg building a spy network. So I could, like, counter-espionage someone, which would be an interesting way to block that. I mean, I'm happy with just improving relations. I'm going to cap it all the way with Munster over there before we do anything else. And yeah, right now I am just very happy accumulating money. Our army is almost completely reinforced. I'll go and bring down the army maintenance. That'll be fine. The Alder von Lubeck. What is this? Oh, if we have a bunch of money and administrative power and a neighboring country's at war. Wait. Oh, Holstein's at war because Denmark declared war on Novgorod. No one else is at war, right? Because if they were, that might, cause us to do something, but it didn't. Okay. We can do this. It costs us basically all our money and our admin power, but gives us a free early Carrick, as well as 30 years of more morale of navies, heavy ship costs reduction, which, well, 2% is not much. Shipbuilding time, diplomatic technology cost is nice. So basically, we'd be paying, instead of however normally it costs for a Carrick, 50. So we'd still be spending 50. Okay, so the Carrick is basically, you're just buying a Carrick normally, but you're paying 30 admin power for a huge set of buffs going forward. I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to continue to accumulate money, and I don't think I want to pay for a heavy Carrick at this time. So, no, I'm all right. I guess I'll turn off that notification, although I'll probably want it later. I'll have to try to remember to turn it on in the future. Okay, we'll recall that diplomat. That's fine. And I think I gotta counter-espionage these guys. So what does it do? Increase chance of detecting any agents they send to us by plus 100%. Well, I mean, the worst they're going to do right now is fabricate some claims, and who cares about that, right? Right. So let's go ahead and just build a spy network again in Brandenburg, and we'll just use it to fabricate claims every time we hit 10. I mean, we'll be able to get a claim here, and that'll probably be it. We'll probably be out of it, but we'll see how it goes. And other than that, yeah, we're mostly going to chill until until one of our neighbors goes to war, and then we will pounce. Mostly, it's Pomerania and Brandenburg. That is the concern. I mean, I want Lauenburg, because that would actually open up some possibilities about maybe jumping on Hamburg in the future. Oh, accumulate money already finished. Cool. 10 prestige. Save the Westphalian people in Holstein. Oh! Denmark went and annexed their vassal. Ooh. Right, so that will give us a claim on Holstein, or rather a CB. Does it give us a claim? I know, it definitely gives us a CB against Denmark. But Denmark currently still controls Sweden and Norway. Here's an idea. Maybe I should start sucking up to Sweden and then support the independence. That's probably what we are going to do. Because I will want to do this stuff at some point, but for now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the Improve Our Prestige mission, and I'm immediately going to cancel it. I'm going to wait a year, and then we'll reevaluate at that point. This is not necessarily a way to recycle the picks, but it'll remind me. It'll get rid of the alert, and in a year it'll pop up again, and maybe things will have changed. I don't need a mission right now, because those are not particularly strong ones. Yeah. So we're still sucking up to Bremen. We're nearly done there, so let me cancel you. And let me, because we probably can't support independence yet. They are currently still loyal towards Denmark, but that won't last forever. That's quite the war. I wonder if they're going to feed these tiles to Sweden, or if Denmark's going to take them. Because Denmark declared war, right? Danish conquest of Neva. Naval envy. Okay. Now that's quite interesting. 50 ducats is the price for 1 carrack. By spending 50 here, we would get 3 carracks. They'd all be free, and we'd build in half the time. We'd also get 5 prestige, which is nice. Unfortunately, that would put us over our force limit. And maintaining those carracks would be extremely expensive, but holy crap! On the other hand, money leads to us getting the temples and merchant places faster. God, that is really good, though. I don't think we can. I really am upset that I can't say yes here. But I don't think we're in a position to do that. I will say we will not play this game. And it'll bring us on the cusp of being able to build a building. Now, the question then becomes, do you build the building instantly? Or do you save up a little bit more of a nest egg? Because if we get an event that, requires us to spend money that we really want, we'd have to take out a loan, which would be bad. But I think in this case, we want to go ahead and do it right away. Now, most of our money comes from trade. So I think it probably makes sense to go and do the trade building right away. But out of curiosity, this would add a quarter gold per month if we built a church in our capital. On the other hand, this would give us an extra 6.7 trade power in this node. What's our current trade power? 173. That's actually not going to affect our total trade power that much. I think the thing to do will be to build the church first. So I'm going to do that. Now, the other 2 provinces, not so much. Eventually, we'll probably want churches. But for now, I think it makes sense to build a church in our capital. And then we will follow that up with the merchant buildings later on. But yeah, an extra quarter gold per month is pretty substantial. We still need 1 more light ship to hit our cap. And that would be, it'd be helpful for more trade power. Mostly pay for itself, and again, more ships that we can use for other things. We have hit our point here. We can go and fabricate a claim on the only other province that we're allowed to. I'm going to stop building spy network, and I'm going to turn my attention to Denmark over here. First, could we declare war? No. You got East Frisia on their side, and they still have Norway and Sweden. I could also suck up to Norway. I don't know if we really need to do both. I could build a spy network over here. I can't agitate anyone. That would be really nice, right? Agitate for liberty, but you need an idea for that. But that would be really handy overall. I think we might want to build, since apparently we can get these claims without generating any aggressive expansion when we get caught. Not that we have any aggressive expansion. I think we just go and start fabricating claim on all the Denmark. All the Denmark. Because we share coasts, we're going to be able to fabricate claims on a lot of things. Also, this might be a really good time for me to say, hey, eventually I want this. Hell, I want all this so I can reach. There. I'm going to tell the world that is true. And I'm eventually going to want up to Stettin over here, because I believe Stettin, is an estuary, and we're going to want that. Let me go and bring up my army maintenance for a bit, just to finish off the reinforcements, because we're just slightly shy, and we're getting close to our manpower cap, so we may as well dump it into here as much as possible. How's the force limit coming on? Still 8 of 8. Alright, that's fine. We could go and get advisors. We are making, well, we will make money as soon as the reinforcements are done. But no, I want to build all the marketplaces. I think it's going to be very important for us to build all the marketplaces. It's going to be a good long-term investment. So, and I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of PowerPoint right now to get the buildings up and running as soon as possible. Because I think it's going to benefit us more. Alright, all the reinforcements will come in. Here, I'll do that. Hopefully you'll still get your 18. Oh, 16. 18 men. There we go. And you got your tick. You're fully reinforced. Good. Now you can drop that down. And we're going to take administrative technology. So this will put us ahead of time, which is going to drop corruption by 0.05 per year. Not very much. It's still going to take 3 years. Well, actually 2 years, thanks to the positive stability. 2 years to burn off the remaining corruption. Not that this was very bad corruption, but I'm happy to not have to spend any money to do it. And, of course, we also get the boost to our production efficiency, which means more goods, more trade goods, all that. So first idea, I mean, there's tons of good administrative ideas too. Tons. But we know we need trade. I'm not sure if it's right to prioritize it over other things, especially since currently we are ahead on... we're currently ahead on admin. And we're actually slightly behind on Diplo, and far from the next one. We might want to start with an admin idea. And what we would take, just out of curiosity, well, we're going to want expansion at some point. I'm going to try to set up a colony in North America, in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, if possible. And hopefully we won't need exploration ideas, but we'll see. Also, expansion ideas does give us an extra merchant as well, which is quite nice. Plutocratic ideas is actually really good. Mercenaries is actually how we're going to win a fair number of stuff. It also gives you the extra merchant and the extra caravan power and the manpower recovery speed and the technology cost discount. Do we just start with plutocratic ideas? They are really, 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 really good. It means, of course, we will fall behind on military tech, of course. And our own armies, our own standing armies won't be that big. Plus 10 morale is pretty potent. I love the decreased national unrest. Holy crap, it hadn't occurred to me that maybe we'd want to do that. Quantity ideas I love. I mean, the first two are super good, obviously. But I'm not sure that's really going to give us a pool that is meaningful in the long run. And I think we will definitely be relying on mercs for a long, long time. This is not cheaper mercs, it's just more mercs. We can get cheaper mercs, like reduced maintenance here with innovative ideas, which are good overall. Again, another discount in technology cost is great. Administrative ideas gives you cheaper mercs, cheaper maintenance, and more mercenaries. More states as well, which is an interesting change. Less core creation, which is always nice. Less interest, which may or may not be relevant. Now, what's more important first? Honestly, I'm actually thinking I'm going to go for administrative ideas first. Because we are going to use mercenaries. And this will give us, especially right away, the cheaper mercenary cost up front is going to allow us to win an early war, which is going to be nice. The interest per annum doesn't really matter too much. God. I don't know, you guys. I guess we could also look at the possible benefits we get from completing the idea group and pairing things off. We can get a lot of mercs available between plutocratic and this. I think we won't really be bothered by the merc hit. I think we are going to definitely take plutocratic ideas at some point. We're definitely going to take trade ideas at some point. Most likely we'll end up taking expansion ideas at some point, but that's definitely going to be a later game thing. No reason to rush that whatsoever. So what do we get first? Well, right now we are generating a lot more admin than anything else. So I'm tempted to say maybe we do grab administrative ideas first, among other things, because I think this is going to happen. And the earlier we grab civil service, the better. But does it have the same immediate punch? What has the best immediate punch for us? Diplomatic ideas, influence ideas, also very good. Now, I'm going to go admin. It's a little bit weird. It was not what I was expecting. But I think the 25% merc discount has the best chance of giving us a very powerful bonus short term when we need it. And the sooner we finish it, the sooner we get the 10% discount to administrative technology, which is huge. Although this is a 5% discount to everything. But we'll probably be building all three of those. I think the first three ideas we'll take is administrative, trade, and plutocratic in some order. So I'm going to take that on the basis that we're currently getting more admin points than anything else, partially because we do have the focus on there, and we're already ahead of time there. So there we go. New election is coming in, so we are going to keep Otto a little bit longer here. Our Republican tradition isn't that low. And we're going to keep him one more go. He's not that close to death yet. He's 50. Hopefully he will serve out the majority of this term. We'll have to decide on his next election. You know, because every time he gets older and older, he becomes less likely to finish a full term. And it sucks to spend 10 Republican tradition on someone who dies in a couple of months. Now, of course, I can still change my mind on these administrative ideas. Right now we get, you know, basically a full refund until we have spent it. Once I've spent it, I'm not going to change my mind. So we've got, you know, until we get 400 administrative power to see if the situation will change. But I'm not sure that it will. Economy very slowly dropping over here. How's that war going on with Novgorod? Is Novgorod being beaten up? Nope, just by one. Who's holding this? Oh, that's Denmark directly was holding that. And Novgorod is holding bits of Sweden. Actually, how's the war going? No, you have a positive war score. You must have the war goal. Yeah, it's for Neva, which is right here. Yeah, so you have the war goal, and you'll probably continue to hold that. Fair enough. Money coming up really good right now. So every 25 months, we can build a new marketplace. And that's what I'm going to focus on right now. I'm quite happy with our situation. Although, again, everything will change instantly if Pomerania or Brandenburg go to war. Instantly, we will get a change. And, of course, we might get called into a war somewhere. That's always very, very, very likely. Denmark, we have enough to fabricate a claim on something. So, since we might be able to get the Save People in Holstein mission, in fact, that might be what's coming up now. Yeah. I'm tempted to just grab the End the Sound Toll mission and sit on it so that it's there at the right time. But I think that's too far, and we're too unlikely to get it, even in a single war. That's the thing, like, this Holstein one is, like, cool. But if I'm doing this, I'm going to war with Denmark, the other stuff would be good. But I don't know if we can grab that far in one go. We might have to just nibble a little here in the south, and then a follow-up war go across the islands. Declared war on Byzantium. Wait, Byzantium still exists? Oh, they didn't lose their bits down here. They did lose Constantinople, but that was all. Alright, I'll take this mission. It will give me a, conquest, so it gives me a claim. Alright, because of the Westphalian people, which is a mismatched culture for them, but would not be for me. And yeah, in addition to that, we're just going to fabricate claims. If I can get one here, yes I can. So we're going to fabricate our way up to over here. Just as a nice backup. I like it. Yeah, we can fabricate really fast now. Claim fabrication is insanely fast now. Because our spy network builds up fast. It happens instantly. It still lasts 25 years. No aggressive expansion. I mean, it's not like getting to 10 is particularly difficult. And until you get above 25, there's no chance of being caught. Just me? Or does it seem a little bit crazy? Man, those espionage ideas really seem like they'd be a lot of fun with this system, though. I like it. I like it. It's a good change. Next one up will be Fine or Finn over here. Just trying to build a chain of claims. Because we're going to want to grab them in that order, so we have sort of a contiguous little thing. We'll have to not forget the little island over here of Lowland. Which I usually forget. I always assume it's part of Jhelum, because you don't see the name over here, right? So I assume it's just one province that spans the island. But no, it is not to be. Alright, we are capped on manpower. Although, really, it's not. We're only wasting 100 manpower per month. In a really big country, I start to feel like, oh my god, it's terrible, I should be going to war. But here, we're not really losing much. In fact, one of our biggest, most powerful tools in warfare will indeed be our mercs. And so probably before we declare a war, unless, again, someone becomes very vulnerable, we will probably want to get the first idea so we get the 25% discount on mercs and then build a giant war chest. So then the question becomes here, am I going to continue to spend my treasury right away on buildings? I think the answer is definitely yes for the trade building in Lubeck itself, which I can afford now. Right? Again, the other two, not so much. Partially because of their autonomy that they still have, and partially because it's just not as rich of a nation, right? This is a 17 development. These are 6 and 10, although 10's not bad. Once this autonomy goes away, it will definitely be worth building the things. But for now, I may stop. Oh! Okay, I don't think... Ooh, this really hurts. I don't think we can afford to lose more Republican tradition, so I will take the stability hit. Even though I love my stability, and you know it. I mean, one of the things with the Republicans is that you don't lose stability every time your king dies. You don't lose a stability in that case. I think you will still lose one if they're leading an army and then die in war. I think you'll lose one, but that's 1 instead of 2. Honest Merchants of Lubeck, 10% more global trade power for 10 years. Okay, that sounds good. Down to 31% over here, but that's okay. I suppose if we are planning anything against Denmark, we may actually consider getting another galley. Can I build... Oh, that's kind of annoying. And that might not be a terrible idea. Oh, randomly lose 50 administrative power? Boo. I think I am going to do that. I mean, I don't know if we'll still be able to challenge the Danish Navy by itself, but... And part of the problem is my allies are not coastal, except for Bremen. Aristocrats reject Republic. 10 nobles in Lubeck. Oh. Can I unpause? Yes, I can. Okay, good. So, we've got 2 months to respond to this. I'm going to unpause and let the morale come up over here. I may want to move out of the way just in case. And I'm going to do that. Since there's no defensive terrain in Lubeck, it doesn't matter if I'm necessarily there when it spawns. So, we're just going to go and recharge our morale over here. And again, we might want to go slightly over our maintenance limit. It's going to be 10, yeah. So we'll go to 9 and see how that does for us. At least they can't instantly siege that, so that's going to be good. So we're just going to wait as long as possible with this event. It will be 2 months. It'd be nice if there was a date listed here, but I understand why it wouldn't be. Baden has joined the Ragusan trade route. Oh, Ragusa's is a merchant republic, and they are cool. Interesting that conflict between Venice and Ragusa becomes a lot stronger now as they compete over nations for their trade league. Very cool. Also, did I ever embargo Pomerania? I assume I did. No, I did not. Also, it's probably time for an insult. So I'm going to insult them. They have a Regency Council. Interesting. Actually, I'll insult someone else. They're small. There we go. And, oh, we can go and fabricate claim on Lund. And actually, didn't realize we actually reach all the way up here. I could go for all of this area, this whole peninsula, of like, what, Jutland or whatever. But ultimately, we're going to fabricate claims on all the things. So, that's fine. Got a claim. All right. Okay, you're at full morale, and you got your extra unit. So, oh, I was going to hope to get there first. But it doesn't matter. There's not a river crossing or anything. So, what's your leader? 2-2. Same as mine. Also, this is my ruler. It would suck if he died right now. But we got to throw something better if we can. We have slightly higher base morale. And, okay, rolling 0s versus 9s does not help, but we will win the day out over here. Whew. And we are above our force limit. But it should just be like a spit over. Do we get the fractional numbers over here? No. Well, yeah, we can count it at the bottom. So, 6.7, 7.32. Wait. Sorry, no, wrong. 7.7. Which then brings us up to 8.32. And then finally, 8.76. So we are on the cusp of getting +1 force limit. Still, you know what? We can... If our army were fully reinforced, I may be like, oh, I'll just leave them for now and spend the extra bucks. But I can go and consolidate 2 of the infantry together, and that'll be okay. So we'll just reinforce that. We need to reinforce 3,000 men. That's like a third of our total manpower pool was just lost fighting this one rebel stack over here. Crazy. Crazy. We do have an extra diplomat. Oh, I'm going to send it back to Sweden. Just try and improve our relations as much as possible. And, oh, standardized pikes. Excellent. We'll get that. And we will pick a new type of infantry. And they're really equivalent in pips over here. It really doesn't matter which one you go. I just like longbows because the longbows are cool. There might be a slight difference, you know, offense, defense, maybe depending on some sort of modifier you have with something, but really not. Marketplace in Lubeck is done. Excellent. And we're getting up to 5 gold from this node now. It's getting more and more valuable. And so what I'm thinking now is we'll mostly just accrue money with the plan to pick up mercenaries down the road. Right? Rather than building things over here, although we may want to still build things. We've got them in our capital, which is the important thing. At this point, if we go into a war with like a couple $100 behind us and a 25% discount on our mercenaries, we can probably do a lot. Here's an interesting question. What is the navy of Denmark? Okay, they have 20 galleys. So then we can never win a naval battle against Denmark. They have gone full military ships. So if we were to fight Denmark, we would definitely have to go home. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure these guys are told to go home at war. Let's not mess around. Oh, they've claimed Lubeck. Interesting. Quite interesting. Also, okay, I do have an actual fort here, not just a capital fort. You are mothball so that I can group those two together. And we are at our naval force limit now, right? Yes, we are. We're at all the force limits. Now, if they declare war on us, that wouldn't be so bad. Because oh, Otto died. I don't think we got a lot of value out of the last election. Well, we are ahead of time in both these. We may not be ahead of time on diplomatic technology momentarily. It's something to be said about getting a diplo candidate to push that, but I think what I'm going to do... Oh, and then increase his influence of someone. I'm going to grab a bureaucratic candidate because I do have some administrative ideas right now. So we have a definite sink for our administrative power. So I'm going to be happy to go that route. Now, I may not elect this guy. I may not re-elect him. What I might do is just swap until we've got a good pool of Republican tradition. Because when I do start to keep re-electing the same person... I'm going to want to keep them around for as long as possible, which means I want max Republican tradition before we hit there. Okay, you're capped with Sweden. Can we support your independence? No, you are still loyal. Won't last forever, though. Let's improve relations with Norway as well. Just, you know, as part of a future plan, and let's fabricate some claims on all the things. There we go. No more claims to fabricate, so I'm going to stop building the spy network for now. It'll be nice to have it again later on because it does increase the rate of sieging. We saw that. That's very cool. But other than that, there's not really anything for us to do. We could spend time sucking up to another ally, potentially. How about we make friends with Poland? I think Poland would be an excellent friend for us. They border both Pomerania and Brandenburg. That's probably a good idea. Probably should have done that sooner, maybe. I don't know. I mean, right now we're capped on relationships, but it doesn't mean we have to stay that way. We could also go up. For someone like Poland, if we can ally with Poland, actually, then we can really start to go on the offense, assuming we build up trust with them. So we'll have to see how that goes. But for now, we're going to put a cut in this video. Thank you very much for watching another episode, folks, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.